Can you tell us why did you decide to become a beef ambassador?
I am a sixth-generation cattle rancher, and I've grown up with it my whole life, and I want to show other people why I'm doing what I'm doing and why my family does what we do, and show and educate people what we are doing and why and the livelihood that we are creating with the beef industry.
And so what does it mean to be an ambassador?
An ambassador, like a college ambassador, they go out and recruit and educate people on what they're doing and why their college or whatever is great. And a beef ambassador, we're out there to educate and to promote and to show what we're doing and why the beef industry is so great.
Okay. Tell me your beef story and how you came to be here today. You mentioned a little bit, but expand a little more.
So my sixth great grandpa was sent by Brigham Young to settle Tualatin County, and he started then with cattle, and we've had it my whole life. And through my great grandpa and my grandpa, and then now my grandpa passed away last year, and that was really hard for us, but we were able to take it over and be more involved, and that's a huge blessing to us because it shows us, why we are doing this.
Yeah, that's neat. Thank you. Can you tell me why are hormones used in beef?
Hormones are used to, they are implanted into the back of the ear of the cattle, so it's, it doesn't go into the meat or anything, but it makes the cattle produce meat faster, and their muscle for the same amount that other cattle are grazing, so it doesn't cost anymore.
Okay, how do you know that they're safe?
The USDA and the FDA, they test them every year. They have to go through annual checks every year to make sure that the hormone or the antibiotics are out of the system before we consume them.
Can you tell me what is the difference between a factory farm and a family farm?
A factory farm is where the cattle are raised straight, just in one place. They're kept in one place their whole life. And where a family farm, they're born and raised on the family farm, and then they're grass-fed for a while, and they could be either grass-finished or grain-finished at a feedlot.
If you could eat only one cut of beef for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
I would eat T-bones because they are so good and they taste so good, and then they're so tender and they're lean, and so it's healthier to eat.
Thank you. Can you tell me what is the BOLD diet?
BOLD diet is beef for an optimal lean diet, and so it's incorporating beef into a healthy diet so that you're not consuming too much fat or too many calories for the same amount that it's filling to your body.
Thank you. It is widely known that modern beef producers use antibiotics. Why are antibiotics used in beef?
Antibiotics are used in beef the same reason that we use them, and it is to make them feel better and to prevent sicknesses, which could later down the road be crippling or be more damaging to the animals. So it's a preventative measure, or it's to help them get over a certain sickness.
Great. And how is their usage going to change in the future?
I'm sure with the changing industry, a lot of people aren't wanting antibiotics used, and so I think that they will be changed, and they will be used less and less, and it'll be a higher demand for antibiotics used in less cattle.
What are your thoughts about recent events in the news concerning grazing on public lands?
My thoughts on grazing public lands, I think it is allowing cattle to graze the public lands is a huge benefit to us and to our state, because allowing the land to be grazed, it eats down forages that we as humans aren't able to consume. And then it prevents, by eating the dry grasses, for the next year's crop to grow, it allows them to grow up through that instead of being pushed over and then being smothered. It also helps with wildfires preventive, or have less destructive wildfires by allowing the cattle to graze.
How can we as consumers save money at the grocery store on beef?
By choosing the different cuts of meat. There's more expensive cuts of meat, but there's also more expensive grades of meat. And so instead of choosing the prime that's the best of the best, you can choose the selector choice that is less expensive, but you're still getting the same cut.
plans for the future, and does it include agriculture?
My plans for the future, I want to be an ag education teacher. I want to be an FFA teacher in high schools and the secondary schools because I want to show the younger generation that beef is good and that agriculture is something that we need, and that's what's going to sustain us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you. What is the number one thing that you want consumers to know about the beef industry and farms and ranches?
The number one thing I want to know, that I want everyone to know, is that beef are good for the environment. They aren't destroying the environment. They're not tearing apart the land. They're out there to make it better and to turn something that we can't consume, like I said before, that we can't consume into something that we can consume. Because there's so many forages out there that aren't able to be consumed by humans. And because of the cow and the way it's built and designed, they're able to consume it.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.